Boy, ladies and gentlemen, I'm excited about this one here tonight on Sportswire Radio in prime time on the brightest lights, the biggest stage, the only platform where all wrestling matters because I speak with a man, the first ever backyard and underground wrestler who ever came on this platform. Many could say this was the man that was responsible for Sportswire Radio going to the masses, speaking with the likes of Rhino, Savio Vega, King's X, Doug Pinnick, Zebra's Randy Jackson. But is this Saturday the final battle, maybe? And why exactly is our guest wrestling for the IMF World Heavyweight Championship? He's going to talk about all of that. He's also going to talk about what is going on here in RCW. We've got a new RCW champion. We've got some big things happening in RCW in the Palo Community Center. We're going to talk about that. Plus, we're going to talk about everything that the boogeyman of the Midwest, the hardcore god, Omen Black, said all those months ago about the foundation. Is it now living proof here? And what about Shawn Jovi, the man I'm looking at right now, his best friend Mephisto, because he's the referee in this little match called Three Doors Down, and we know Jovi's got quite a history with that. But is it the history you want? We're going to talk about that. We're also going to talk about just anything and everything that you want here tonight. And I have no doubt we're going to get you ready on the road to this Saturday in the Palo Community Center, the IMF's latest show, CyberSlam. And we've donated already 2 tickets. I didn't even wait. I already did it because, after all, I don't even want to look at the stock market right now because thank God I donated those tickets already, because who knows what kind of mood I would have been in maybe on Thursday to make that donation. But boy, as I've stated, there is plenty to talk about. I'll even have to talk about those real monsters to the resident rock star, because it sounded like they kind of pushed to the side those foundation members in Jovi and Mephisto. But enough of that. I digress. It is time now to get this show on the road here in style and to start or close the weekend out, depending where you are, and give our guest one of the greatest to have ever been on this platform, a man that is a multi-time Hall of Famer, a man who famously had a summer of Jovi. He was our most popular wrestler last year, but now we give him that introduction because you're waiting for it. He's waiting for it. And I've been waiting all day to give it to him. So, ladies and gentlemen, even though he's a Bon Jovi fan, but in the words of Def Leppard singer Joe Elliott, let's get rocked tonight, baby, on Sportswire Radio, the #1 global radio station where all wrestling matters. So, with that, without further ado, here on the Sports Report. #1 What show? The last link, some would say, in the backyard in the underground wrestling circuit to the GBYWN, multiple time IMF United States Champion of the World, FCW owner, one of the most popular wrestlers to have ever stepped foot on Sportswire Radio. He's certainly got it going on. He's going to definitely keep the faith. We are not slippery when wet. We are definitely not on a lost highway. And we are going to bounce to this man because he's going to crush it tonight, because his name is simply put, that Shawn. Shawn Jovi. Jovi's got it going on. It's Shawn Jovi. He's back on Sportswire Radio. My friend, how are we doing?
Your intros get better and better every time I'm on here, Tom. The next one I was expecting was like when you do the Joe, you're like Joe.
Yeah,
That should be your next one.
Well, people seem to like the war chant. They like the
Dude, I like it too. I'm just saying, like, if you want variety, you're a sports show, you gotta do that song too.
Well, let's see how my voice holds up.
I'm surprised you didn't lose it yet.
Well, we're trying to pace ourselves. I do want to give a shout out to somebody here who's actually listening all the way from the UK right now, which I normally don't get to the chat, but I do want to say hello to the legendary R of the Fox Mitu, of course, the first Black British boxer to have fought 100 times, who is up at 1:19 in the morning, 12:19 in the morning, I should actually say now UK time, because they haven't quite hit the clocks forward like we have, but it is an absolute honor to have him here, and thank you so much for all you've done for me, and R of the Fox Mitu, a big-time supporter of mine for many, many years, and he did want to say hello, and now that may want to make him return to the boxing ring because he just heard my intro. But enough about that. It is so great to have you here. You are the first ever backyard and underground wrestler that came onto this platform. It was nearly 3 years ago. You came here July 2022, and one of the few times I didn't record this show right where I'm watching it with everybody else. But Shawn Jovi, we have a lot to talk about here, and I want to get to it, especially for those that are listening and watching here in prime time on the brightest lights, the biggest stage, the platform you, Shawn Jovi, truly helped build alongside the IMF and everybody else here. You have a 3 doors down match coming up this Saturday for the IMF World Heavyweight Championship. To quote Q-Tip, the world is yours. Don't hold back. Well, Shawn Jovi, you better tell us why you may win this Saturday in the Palo Community Center. Will it be world is yours? But Shawn Jovi, why exactly is the world potentially about to be yours this Saturday? IMF World Heavyweight Championship against Omen Black.
First and foremost, Tom, it's truth be told, we all know nobody saw this title shot coming. I didn't see it coming. We all said it. I should be out of title shots by now. I'm over gifted and all these things that Omen says I am that inquires me being spoiled and favored and all this stuff. Well, he must be paying the kettle black here because I am spoiled by him giving me a free title shot just because I slapped him in the face. That's a foolish mistake, Omen. I made a promo earlier this week.
Yes.
I said the rock star may be at rock bottom. When a man's at rock bottom, Tom, they're more dangerous than ever because they have nothing to lose. That's where I'm at right now. I have nothing to lose. I have everything to gain in this match. We know I'm 0-3 and 3 doors down. That's a well-given fact. We know.
The video showed that. The video you just put up a few hours ago, actually, there was lyrics in there that pretty much hinted at that in some way.
Yeah, I mean, the odds are completely stacked against me, and I made them that way. And as we all know, that's kind of the way I like it. I'm a little strange when it comes to the whole stipulation thing. People think you should pick a match that favors you. I like to think the opposite. This match type that I created is a curse. A lot of people call it a curse because I have not won. I have not barely even came close to winning. But that's all going to change this next weekend. I'm about to hit the jackpot by winning the world championship from Omen Black. And I know a lot of people are going to say that's kind of a lot, saying a lot considering my record. But you know what? Records don't mean shit. And here's why. So here's the thing, Tom.
Yes, sir.
Records don't mean shit. And the reason why I say this is just like in football. You know how they say any given Sunday, the other team can win. Any given Saturday, Tom, I can defeat Omen Black. Maybe not. Maybe it won't be 10 times out of 10. But
you just need that one time this Saturday.
Man with two hands has a fighting chance, Tom.
Well, you do. I mean, listen, you have a chance. I mean, there's no question that you are the veteran. You've been in this a long time. You're the last true link to the GBYWN. And, look, to go with the football analogy, I mean, the New York Giants defeated the New England Patriots twice when the New York Giants had no business of being in the Super Bowls back in 2008 and 2013. I'll give you that. I mean, there is certainly a point to be made with that. But you're going into this literally at rock bottom. I mean, it's such to the point that even your brother in the foundation, Soldier GP, almost dismissed you there in that tag team championship. You've been pushed to the side. I mean, Il Drago really hasn't focused much on the foundation and you. And, Justin Parsley seems to be the real monster alongside Soldier GP. They took the tag team championships. And, I mean, you've got Mephisto and Dirty, but right now, I mean, you're as rock bottom as you've been since those days, all those years ago in the GBYWN when you were looked at as an afterthought, a misfit. And that's almost territory that we never thought we would see you in again. And almost that's where you're going right now, going into this Saturday. So, sure, you could bring up the football analogy. Sure, you could talk about, yes, the New York Giants defied the odds. They defeated the New England Patriots twice. But you don't have David Tyree. You don't have an arm like Eli Manning. And how on earth, considering where you are right now, are you going to defeat the boogeyman of the Midwest, the hardcore god, the leader of the House of Wolves, and arguably the most diabolical champion in underground wrestling history in Omen Black?
Now, that's a word I was thinking about, is diabolical. And that is what Omen Black is. He's very diabolical. He's very sinister. He's very dark and goofed up in the head, man. And I know that. I've faced many people like that in my past, and maybe none is quite as scary and powerful as Omen. But let me tell you, Omen, there's one difference between me and some other people who have faced you in the past. I ain't scared of you, pal.
Ooh, you're not scared of him. You're not scared of him.
Because if I was scared, that would make me at the biggest disadvantage of all. I cannot be scared. I will not be scared, nor will I be intimidated by a man who almost set a poor kid on fire at the last show at the Pillage.
Well, he's done a lot of things. I mean, we've heard him say words and things that I can't repeat on this platform. And it is his platform, after all, because we don't want to get canceled considering
his platform. I invented this platform with you. Omen Black doesn't have any shit over this platform.
He doesn't. Okay. All right. Well,
you agree with me, and deep down you know it.
Well, let's certainly figure out the semantics later on, because there's a lot of people that'll lay claim to the platform of Sportswire Radio. But, okay, you are the veteran, and if there's one thing you've got going for you, is that you've been around almost 20 years. And you're right, going into a match like this, you're not afraid, you're not scared. And on top of that, you've got a long checkered past with Omen Black. You've got a history that goes back to another state, to this platform 2 years ago, and it was just you. You were really the only one we want to speak of that was coming here and talking every month and, led to where we are today. And, you might have some motivation because deep down, I mean, you and Omen Black, it's been over 2 years. You and him have certainly had some differences, and he's even talked about recently his hatred for the state that you call home. He's talked about that, and you're the veteran, and I know you're not going to take that and you're going to certainly crush it when it comes to everything, when it comes to your state and the personal checkered past that you and Omen Black have. And maybe that's your motivation here this Saturday in the Palo Community Center.
Yes, I mean, he can hate Wisconsin all he wants. Trust me, I have my mixed feelings with it too over time, but I'm still going to stand up for my state. I want to represent my state. I am going to present the fact that I can still go at 100 miles an hour and do laps around Omen. I have to win, Tom. There is no ands, ifs, or buts.
No, you have to win. Oh, listen, you have to win because Omen said it months ago. He talked about the fact that it was nepotism. Nepotism, guys like Shawn Jovi were getting title shot after title shot, and Shawn Jovi was the example of everything that was wrong with the foundation, everything that was wrong in the IMF, and he was here to remedy that. He was here to cleanse all of that. You were the poster child of that. You and Mephisto, but especially you. So there's no question that, I mean, you've got a lot there to ponder.
Yeah, a lot. Like literally a lot. And it's a matter of what happens from here. Provided I win and I go on as the world champion. The path's not clear right now. And then what if I lose? Where do I go from there? I'm kind of at a crossroads, and everything that is at this crossroads depends on this upcoming match. There's either two roads I can go, and it's losing and going into exile, or I could just win and continue my crusade and go to the summer of Jovi yet again.
Well, summer's coming. There is no question that summer's coming. And maybe this will lead you into an amazing comeback, into an opportunity, if you can keep the faith, deal with those crossroads, and or instead, maybe you'll be going out in a blaze of glory. And let's just say that these days could very well be the last days of Shawn Jovi in a significant title match. But before we get to any of that, we have a YouTube page that Shawn Jovi is getting ever so close to 1,000 subscribers to. And if you're here right now, and I don't know why on earth you would not have subscribed to Shawn Jovi's YouTube page, but now you must. He's got 832 subscribers. We're going to play that video that he just showed on his YouTube channel. That was the hype package for the 3 Doors Down match with himself and Omen Black. And guess what? Thursday, all of the IMF roster is going to be here. They're going to be here live on the platform they helped build to get you ready for CyberSlam. You're going to see a slew of your favorites. We're going to be talking about that, but we are here with the resident rock star, Shawn Jovi, and we're also going to talk about RCW as well. The RCW leader is here, and let's get to this video here. I want to talk to you about this because you and I were speaking about this off the air. There's some lyrics here that really, well, let's just say put me at a crossroads when it comes to you. But let's digress. We can play this video because it's actually AI generated. It's non-copyrighted, so we can certainly play it. So let's play it here. Let's get rocked, and here we go.
Omen Black steps into the ring tonight. Shawn Jovi flexes under the glaring light.
Crazy this match started in the backyard.
No, it did. I remember it.
Crazy to think about.
Two titans collide for destiny's stake. It's the final bell.
There's that guy.
Yeah.
No turning back. The fire can't retreat. 3 doors down to the edge of it all. Who's gonna rise and who takes the fall?
Who takes the fall?
Every blow is thunder, every move knees a quake. Sweat drips heavy with every chance they take. Jovi spinning, Shawn's throwing flames. The three doors echoes their brutal games. It's the final bell. The crowd's on its feet. No turning back. The fire can't retreat. Three doors down to the edge of it all. Who's gonna rise and who takes the fall?
Who takes the fall? The final battle, the edge of it all. Shawn, Jovi. Those lyrics struck a chord with me. Let's just say they put me at a crossroad. And that video.
Yeah, I did a good job. And
Courtney Wood, who, by the way, let's give a shout out to our friends in Legit Alternative Wrestling, put on a heck of a show this past week. They have a YouTube channel. I'll give them a plug in a minute. We'll bounce to their YouTube channel and we'll keep the faith and certainly say hello to them there. But we'll definitely, they're not in New Jersey, but they're in West Virginia. But certainly they had a great show earlier last night on episode 12 of FUTV. We'll put a link up to that in a minute. And Courtney will be back here this week. She really liked the package. Thank you, Courtney, for that. But those lyrics really struck a chord with me. They really, let's just say, like I said, made me feel slippery when wet when dealing with you in tonight's show because, you know, who takes the fall? And could this be the final battle? We're on the edge of it all. It could be in your amazing career, and especially here on this platform in a big match.
Yeah, there's a lot on the line, Tom. Not just for a title, but just for the sake of my career in general. I mean, like you said, where do I go if I lose? I don't want to. Do I go back to that other company? I don't think that should happen. I think IMF is my home for the rest of my career, and win, lose, or draw, I got to keep moving forward, and I'm going to keep moving forward. But it's going to be so much sweeter when I move forward as the IMF World Champion this weekend.
I ask you this question then. What would it mean to you to win the IMF World Heavyweight Championship in the Palo Community Center from the one and only Omen Black? What would it mean to you to win the IMF World Championship?
It would mean literally the world to me because not only am I winning a championship, a world championship from a company that I have no management or say in terms of what happens with the company. That's huge. All the other companies I've had a say in some form or had my hand in the cookie jar. IMF, I don't so much. So like that would be something worth earning, a trophy worth having for the rest of my life. But on top of all that, Tom, I need to prove myself. I've said I'm world champion material. I know I'm world champion material. It's a matter of time, whether it's this opportunity or 5 years down the line. I don't plan.
But do you have 5 years down the line in your career? You know, right now, as a veteran, you're at a crossroads. And, you know, I look at some of your peers here tonight, right? I look at James Taylor and Darkron, right? Darkron and James Taylor, two men that you've shared a locker room with. Darkron,
Yes.
you and him were side by side building this platform together and building Summer Bash. You and James Taylor were there at that historic Winter Class show. Everybody's still talking about. But those veterans, right?
Yep.
They've reinvented themselves. In 2025, James Taylor and Darkron, people can joke about their age, and you're not that far behind them. But
Right.
their age, you look at them, and they're hanging in there. They're going toe-to-toe with the likes of Dalton Skull and Jason Storm. And they're going in there, and they're showing, like James Taylor, what he did. He went toe-to-toe with Justin Parsley, Soldier GP. He defeated Felix Jones, who many say is the future and the present of this circuit.
Yeah.
Look at what Darkron has done with this man, the adversity he has dealt with to come back and stronger than ever. Now he's becoming a man that's a podcast host. And some would say this is the man to take the baton from me. And, you know, if the Courtney doesn't want it, but your peers and James Taylor and Darkron, they've reinvented themselves. They're relevant in 2025. Shawn Jovi, You haven't seemed to have done the same as what James Taylor and Darkron have done. Can you hang in 2025, and especially in a match like this with Omen Black?
I think I still can, Tom. I was the shining star in 2023. Yeah, I haven't had a very relevant run since, but things can turn around, Tom, at the flip of a dime. You know that.
I agree.
We've all seen it.
I'm
You've
rooting.
seen it
You
when
have
I
been. You are one of my all-time favorites. When I think of you, I think of Darkron. I think of Joe Starr, who's back on Friday. Guys like you just make me smile. Every time I hear Shawn Jovi, you are somebody I truly do root for. But, sometimes in sports and in wrestling, you think about, well, how much does somebody have left? You love somebody, you see them out there, but you wonder, what do they have left in the tank? Right now, we just saw today Alexander Ovechkin break Wayne Gretzky's record of scoring 894 goals. He's got plenty left in the tank. But then there's other stories in sports. We look at, Tom Brady. Just when was it time for him to hang up? Did he stay too long? Michael Jordan, some would say the greatest athlete of all time. He got it right the first time and retired. Then the second time. And then the time he came back the last, it was almost like, what are you doing out there? And, we see it in baseball. Willie Mays, what can be considered to be the greatest baseball player who ever lived. But he hung on too long. He got caught out trying to, in the World Series, trying to score from third base, wasn't even close. And, is Father Time knocking on the door? And could it be this Saturday where it strikes midnight and you may not be as lucky as those veterans that I've mentioned, like Darkron and James Taylor? I, for one, hope it's not true. I hope that the clock has not struck on your career. But
I hope not either.
I'm grappling with that decision. You're from Green Bay, Aaron Rodgers, right? Aaron Rodgers, another example of, is it time for Aaron Rodgers to hang up? We all know Brett Favre hung on way too long.
Yeah, that was a disaster.
He had to be carted off the field and said, listen, you can't play anymore. Shawn Jovi, this Saturday, if you don't get the job done and don't even come close, are we going to have to say the same thing?
I don't think so, Tom. Well, there's a will, there's a way. And you know what? I've had many beatings in my career. A lot of which come to mind would be like the TLC match with Chris Castle in 2009. I had a shoe print on my face. I think I might have had a concussion. I was beat-outed, bruised. The guy jumped out of a freaking tree at me. Like, there was that. And then there's other matches I had with Happy Psycho where I just got beat to death with a kendo stick. There's a lot of moments I've had where I've been punished and brutalized. But there's a difference between being brutalized and not getting up. And the thing is, I get up every time. I keep trucking forward. I am someone, much like RCW would say, never dies.
No, never dies. No.
If I would have died, my career would have died. It would have happened by now. People said it died in 2017 when I left ICW. Wrong. I came back in 2021. I've been on a freaking freight train since, going through IMF, going to Summer Bash, working for that other company that I don't work for anymore. I did a lot in these four years that I've been back.
They've done a lot. No, there's no question that
it's been a game changer.
You mean a lot to me personally because, again, I mentioned it, Shawn Jovi, the first backyard and underground wrestler, truly from the yard and the underground to have come here. You're a guy that I smile. Shawn Jovi, when his name comes up, that's a guy that just I have an affinity for. People love you. They love you. But listen, again, we loved Aaron Rodgers. We loved Tom Brady. We loved Brett Favre until he decided to basically cry his way out of Green Bay. Joe Montana. We loved Joe Montana. Poor Dan Marino. We loved him. And the poor guy had to basically be carted off the field. He got sacked so many times. And, you keep going down the list in sports, in wrestling. Ric Flair, everybody loves the Nature Boy. Woo! But the Nature Boy, he still wants to wrestle. I mean, we talk about it in music, right? Ozzy Osbourne's coming back for one more show. Kiss retired a year and a half ago, but now Paul and Gene are coming back, this time without the makeup. But we retired. I mean, Sammy Hagar, God bless Sammy Hagar. He's still going. But there is a time And is Father Time knocking on your door? I don't know. I, for one, hope it's not. But I will ask you this question, because I know the chat is dying to talk. We have a big crowd here tonight. Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in here. But, I brought up Soldier GP a few minutes ago, and Soldier and Justin won those tag team championships, a match you were a part of, a match that I know you and Mephisto had circled to win tag team gold. You were here on Christmas, and you talked about tag team gold, what that could have meant to you. You had it in your mind to get you back on top was to start in the tag team division and grab those tag team champions that the Midwest Express have. You wanted to grab those championships and take them away, but you fell short. You failed. You failed, as a matter of fact. Soldier GP, have you spoken to him? He was right next to you when you slapped Omen Black. Have you spoken to Soldier GP in the last several days to get ready for this match coming up this Saturday? Your brother in the foundation.
Soldier and I, we've been fairly distant since the tag match. We've talked here and there, but honestly, I think it's just kind of one of those things where it's like we haven't fallen out, but we're just kind of doing our own thing. He's got Parsley. He's doing the tag division right now. I got Mephisto, and I got Owen Black breathing down my neck. We just got our own agendas, and we got our own thing going on, and I still respect Soldier GP. He's my brother from another mother. You know what it is, my man.
But is that what Omen wanted, though? Because Omen talked about even the tag team championships that the Midwest Express lost. It almost seemed like that was the plan. He spoke about this here on Sportswire a few days ago, as a matter of fact. He spoke about that and seemed like that was the plan. And maybe that plan was to almost, in a way, keep you and Soldier distant, because we know you and Drago. I mean, look at Drago. He's got Anthony Steele. Let's not even go there. Let's not even go there, because he's coming back Thursday. He's coming back Thursday, and boy, you want to talk about receipts. I am sure Anthony Steele is going to have so many receipts, you're going to basically have to rip out the cash register. But the facts are is that maybe this is what Omen wanted all along going into this Saturday, is that he wanted Jordan Netz and Jason Myers to lose those championships to Soldier GP and Justin Parsley, because that would take you away from your brother and basically allow you to fend for yourself. And Omen knows that the Wolves are going to hunt and eat you like the pack of wolves that they are, and you're going to certainly continue that run, the failure tour, some have called it.
Well, the failure tour can be called whatever people want to call it. Listen, despite all these failures, despite all these losses, we've seen me do the impossible before. I know I can do it again. And you know what? This upcoming weekend, sure, odds are stacked against me, 100%. I bet every single person watching at home right now, or will be watching this back later, does not have me circled as the winner on their prediction cards. I guarantee not a single one of you do. And if you do, you could statistically be out of your damn mind. But
well, to be fair, though, if you did have a mutual fund, a 401k, or in the stock market, that still would pale into comparison about how you feel right now. As I tell people, I won't even open up my mutual fund right now. Thankfully, I'm still safe, but I might want to either jump out the window or cry. So you compared to that, you're not as crazy. But obviously, we'll have to see. But a lot of people are pulling for you. Let's get to some people in the chat. I want to talk RCW before I circle back. Yeah, we got a lot of people here tonight. Remy Roberts, an up-and-coming promo wrestler, is here. He would like to say the Cajun Cruiser is in the building. You know that she wouldn't miss this for the world. Zilla is in the house, and she is fired up. And Nicholas Crenson, I know, who's coming back. And, what's your thoughts from afar on Nicholas Crenson and his hardcore championship match that Ox McCoy basically, he's going to, what he said, almost what he didn't say in that promo that he cut earlier this week. But Nicholas Crenson, the former RCW champion, a man you've had plenty of wars with, returns to action here coming up this Saturday in the Palo Community Center. And what's your thoughts on your fellow buddy from Wisconsin? And if he, like you, can maybe come back to the cheese steak with some gold?
I mean, I hate saying it, but his odds are worse than mine right now. So
Oh, okay.
I'm just saying you have a 4-way match between Ox McCoy, Mephisto, I think Uric, and him.
Yep.
Like that's a stacked amount of people to be in a hardcore match, my guy. You got pile driven into extinction, damn near extinction, a few months ago, and that was by Ox. Now you got Ox, Uric, and Mephisto breathing down your neck. Good luck. You're gonna need it, Crenson.
But you know what, though? For a minute, Mephisto, which I will put the poster up here in a few minutes. I want to get to everybody here in the chat. I know people really want to talk to you tonight. You haven't been here in a while. But Mephisto is not only in that match for the Hardcore Championship, but he's the referee of your match with Omen Black. Now, what will happen if Mephisto is forced to, well, see your demise? What is that going to potentially be like, or what?
You know, a lot of people could probably think Mephisto is the only saving grace I have in this match. And that may possibly be true. He could help. He could cost Omen the match. He could be unfair. But I had a long talk with Mephisto earlier this week. And I told him, no matter what happens, I need you to call us down the middle. I don't want any asterisks next to this victory if I get it. Because I need to prove that I am world championship material. And I can't do that if Mephisto helps. So Mephisto has to call us down the middle, and I asked him as a friend for this favor. I don't want favorites to be played. It just doesn't work that way. It's just not in my agenda. I want to win this fair and square in a match that I've never won.
So really, and again, you guys are at such a crossroads here this Saturday.
And I mean, as far as Mephisto goes, too, he's in the same boat I'm in. He hasn't won a singles match in a while either.
Since he lost the world championship, if I'm not mistaken.
Correct. And that's the thing. Mephisto's at a crossroads, too, just like me. This could be both of us, our last chance for an opportunity for a long time.
And this proves a point to what Omen has been saying. Why are guys like you representing the IMF and getting championships? Why are guys like you here in this spotlight? Guys like you are the reasons that Omen Black wants to leave the IMF. You know, Omen has also talked about the fact that he's out of here. He's out of here on December 31st, and he's walking away with the IMF championship to never return. And it's really because of guys like you and Mephisto, the man that he took the championship away from.
You know, if Omen is still champion and he walks away, so be it. His ugly ass title design can go with him. IMF will still have a championship. It'll still have a legacy at the end of the day because IMF is where it's at, baby.
I agree with you that the IMF is definitely the way it's to be. The IMF is definitely that place you all should be following and supporting. We're going to put some links up here shortly to show the chat why, but let's get to some more people. There's a lot of people do want to talk to you. Okay, yep. Thank you, Remy, for tuning in. How you doing, Remy? Good to see Remy. Courtney is in the house. She is our female Dave Meltzer and Wade Keller. She was just at the Express Wrestling show this past Saturday in McKeesport, Pennsylvania. Yep, on 2125 Beacon Street. I've got it memorized. How are we doing? Yep, we're doing good. Nathaniel Rage, a man that has been battling with Anthony Steele and Omen Black, and this guy wants to take on Omen Black. He's probably here scouting you out, seeing what you bring to the table, and this is a man that he wants Omen Black to come to his world in Texas promo wrestling, and then he'll come to the IMF and face Omen Black. Is this guy more nuts than you?
He's got to be. You don't know what you're dealing with.
Well, we're going to find out if this is actually going to happen. But the devil is here. He's the TPW World Heavyweight Champion. He's also the People's Champion. And, well, you know, yeah, if he shows up to the Palo Community Center from Appalachia, West Virginia, and he wrestles Omen Black, he may fade to black. But who knows? Maybe we'll have a Libra Messiah here. Thank you, Zilla. The legendary Dark Chron is here, of course, the host of the Dark Chronicles. And you got to get on his show. You have to get on the Dark Chronicles. You must.
Actually, it's funny that you say that. I am actually scheduled to be on in a few weeks. So
Oh, well,
yeah,
you
we
be
actually
watching it.
recorded the episode last night.
Oh, I was gonna say, are we gonna be watching the match this Saturday in the Palo Community Center?
No, we already pre-recorded it. It should be coming out in a couple weeks.
Well, I'm excited for that because I think the shows get better and better. The one he just did with Soulja was like, oh my God, that was like one of the best shows. I think Dark Crunch should take over for me because the way he asked questions, he was neutral. He didn't have a high-strung voice. He wasn't going back and forth. He was amazing. I mean, we should let him take over Sportswire.
He's one hell of a guy. I'll say that. He's
I
one
think
hell
that
of a great guy.
you and him are my, two of my all-time favorites, and that's his YouTube channel. Do me a favor, go out there and give this man a sub, and please do it now. Just do it, and to quote Nike, give him a sub. He's got over 1,000 subs, and the man is awesome. So thank you, Mr. Kron. We'll come back to some more people here in the chat. Good to see you, my brother. Yep, I knew that was going to happen. Thank you, Arv the Foxsmith, who probably went to bed by now. Can't blame him. It's about 1 o'clock in the morning there. And the man that is obviously also going to be a huge factor. And, what is your thoughts on the House of Wolves and your concerns? We talked about that you and Soulja have been kind of distant. Mephisto's certainly going to be there. Some would say maybe he'll even the odds. But are you worried about the House of Wolves, especially if what Ox McCoy does do to one of your comrades in Wisconsin, Nicholas Crenson, and maybe he could be motivated to, be outside and help, let's just say, Mr. Omen Black go 2 for 2 and annihilating those from your home state, Wisconsin?
Ox is a very dangerous competitor. I mean, I faced the guy twice, beat him twice, little known fact. But Ox, he's scary. I mean, I wouldn't want to be caught in an alleyway with him, let alone in a wrestling ring, especially with all of his hardcore antics that he has. The guy's not afraid to bleed. The guy's not afraid to take a beating. The guy is a freaking monster.
Oh, for sure. 100%.
Like, I'll praise him all day. But as far as the House of Wolves go, they have the strength in numbers right now. Everyone is in a unity, it seems like. Whereas, like you said, the Foundation, it's kind of splitting apart, doing different sections and kind of going its own separate direction. And that scares the living hell out of a lot of people, especially in IMF, because the strength in numbers. And it seems like the House of Wolves are taking over.
They are, and there's just so many of them. And
that's why it's so important, Tom, that I take them down. Soulja's busy with the tag division now. He has no room to take care of Omen. I'm here to pick up the pieces that he started, and I'm going to defeat him this Saturday.
What is your thoughts, though, very quickly on now it is an actual 1-on-1 or 2-on-2, you might want to say, for the tag team championships, and the former champions, the former incumbents, the Midwest Express against the Real Monsters? And what is your thoughts on that now that the former champions actually get the Real Monsters now mano a mano? What is your thoughts on that?
I got to give Parsley and Soulja credit. I thought this was going to be a flavor of the month kind of thing. I've even said it and made it very vocal.
Yes,
that
you have.
Soulja's Parsley's flavor of the month. But, they proved us wrong. They proved me and Mephisto wrong. They proved the Midwest Express wrong. They seem to be a legitimate force of a tag team to be reckoned with. And I'm really excited to see that match and see, hopefully, the Foundation brothers retain against Midwest Express. And there's me and the old Hulkster.
Well, maybe you can call the Hulkster for some advice. Maybe the Hulkster, you can have a chat with the Hulkster, and maybe the Hulkster will, come out there and join you.
He did acknowledge and compliment the IMF shirt that I'm wearing, though.
Oh, he did. Well, it kind
of was like nice shirt, brother.
It probably looks like his NWO Wolfpack shirt.
I think that's why I liked it.
That's a good answer.
He was like, "Oh, somebody's ripping me off, brother. Oh, well, I'll like it anyway."
Yeah, probably. That was a good line there. But what a great photo. Two legends, but I'd rather have Shawn Jovi here on Sportswire than Hulk Hogan. But
I mean, wouldn't we all?
That's true. That's true. Especially considering
one of us is a real American, the other is Hulk Hogan. That was my caption for it.
And I'm going with Shawn Jovi, and I'm going to say hello to the chat here. Yep, how we doing? Thank you, Arv. Sometimes the most important home runs are hit after a batting slump. That's true. That's a good point by Remy, because, they always say in sports, sometimes when you're in a slump, all of a sudden everything just comes together. Remember last year, Aaron Judge, who was a big slugger for the New York Yankees, has hit 62 home runs in a season and broke the American League record. Some say he's got the real record. I don't know about the semantics of that, but he was in a major slump for like a month. And then all of a sudden, he hits like 7 home runs in 10 games. And sometimes, maybe for you, Shawn Jovi, it's the same thing. You've been in this slump for the better part of about 7-8 months. But maybe this Saturday is where the tide turns. You get red hot, take the IMF World Championship, and just all of a sudden everything just turns around.
And that's the plan, Tom. There's nowhere to go but up. I can't go any further down at this point. I can only go upwards. And that's what I got to do this weekend. I got to take the opportunity. I got to cash in on it. I got to defeat Omen Black. I got to be champion and save the IMF from Omen's antics.
Well, we're going to certainly find out if that's going to be the case. And if you are here, Shawn Jovi is also on Instagram. So definitely check him out on Instagram. We would definitely appreciate if you did and give him a follow because, well, he seems to know the Hulkster. So, yeah, there you go there. So we'll take that off the screen and come back to some more people. And a good point here from Ox, some would say. Where has the foundation been for you? We've been talking about this all show. It's time for you to open your eyes and accept the truth.
You know, and that's also true. There was no foundation saving me when I got left on the stage, left for dead when Omen turned his back on us.
You did mention that here a few weeks ago when we had everybody here. That was a topic that came up between you and Soldier.
Yeah, and I'm still not over it, Tom. They say the foundation's a brotherhood, but why weren't you looking after your brothers and hanging with somebody else that you may not particularly trust at the time? Now, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I mean, Parsley and Soldier are tag champs. They're doing very well for themselves. That's great in Hickory Dory, but I was the brother first. I was one of the first brothers to be recruited in the foundation. I was after Chronic, Forsaken, and Dirty.
But you were forced to join the group.
I was. And that is true as well. I wasn't very open to the idea.
You were very resistant for months. As a matter of fact, you almost like didn't even want to come on here at times.
And it's because I didn't know where it was going to take me. I was very nervous. I'm not going to lie. That was a very unseen time in my career. Like
it was
I didn't
a
know where to
weird
go.
time. You were kind
It
of
was awkward.
limbo.
And yeah, it was an awkward limbo, especially after the summer of Jovi. But let's look in hindsight. It was the best thing that ever happened to me. Despite Omen turning on us, despite everything that's happened with that other company where this all happened at, this is the best thing to have happened to me, is being in the foundation and joining the IMF. It was a game changer in my career. And I will always acknowledge it as such.
Well, we definitely agree that we love the IMF and we can't wait for Thursday's show with everybody here. James Taylor is here. Speaking of a veteran, we're glad that James is safe in Alabama, going through some, terrible weather out there. And please, everybody, stay safe if you're in the Midwest and parts of the South. Of course, Darkron is the right-hand man of James Taylor. He would like to say hello. And Zilla says that Shawn Jovi needs to open his eyes and look and accept the truth. And yeah, I mean, Zilla seems to be all about the House of Wolves, and Soldier has no love for Zilla, by the way. And Zilla seems to be team Omen Black. I mean, how does that make you feel?
Zilla, I think you need to open your eyes because Omen's blinding you. He's actually not even blinding. He's practically brainwashing you into this House of Wolves thing. Join the winning team. Join Team Jovi. Yeah.
Well, we'll have to find out, and we do have the poster here finally, because for whatever reason, I was having a very difficult time to put the poster up, but we have magic powers that only I can describe. And there you go, 3 doors down, IMF Heavyweight Championship match. Omen Black, the incumbent, against Shawn Jovi, the resident rock star, special guest referee, Mephisto, the former IMF champion, and Reverend Solomon. And Reverend Solomon, you concerned about him at all?
I haven't seen enough out of him to have a read on him. I mean,
That might make him even more dangerous, though, don't you
it
think?
does. It does. And him at ringside is a wild card. I mean, any manager that's at ringside for any wrestler is a potential wild card. And that's just how it is in the business.
But there's him and there's Ace Diamond. There's, I love Ace
Well,
Diamond. But Reverend
I'm more worried about
diabolical.
old Ace than Solomon. Ace is
I
just a
would be
pain in
more
my
worried
ass.
about Solomon. He's diabolical. This man is diabolical. Look at this man. He's well dressed. He's serious. I mean, this is a guy that, he's leading the House of Wolves. He's a reverend. As one reverend to another, he's got power. He's got
Power of wearing. I just want to know where they got their Hot Topic shirts from.
They sell those still at Hot Topic?
I don't know. They might still sell trip pants too. We can see them all dressed up like a bunch of House of Emos.
I did go to the in the Staten Island Mall last year. I did go to Hot Topic, so I have to now make a special trip to Hot Topic in the next few weeks to see if that's the case.
It's funny. I shouldn't be talking about trip pants. I used to wrestle in trip pants.
You have. I did see your old
once upon a time.
Well, listen, Rat Hazard did, and some of the other names you mentioned, Sick Rick all did. So, everybody's got their things. Listen, once upon a time, I had spiky hair. I had spiky hair in high school.
That's crazy.
Well, I got this now. It's even more crazy. But we'll leave it at that. Yep. Hello to James. The foundation is trash except for Shawn Jovi. But some would even say, what is left of the foundation? But he does say hello to you at least.
Hi, James Taylor.
Sorry, Storm is the biggest coward, Mr. Storm. Oh, he's talking about Jason Storm. Yeah. He'll be here Saturday night, by the way. He will be here Saturday night. He will be here with the natural selection to be inducted into the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame. Remy and James Taylor had a moment. We'll leave that at that. Jovi, I believe you as your foundation, brother. You and Darkon, just men that I smile when I hear you two. You two, that's why I'm hoping you pull out a classic here and show why the veterans still got something left in the tank. Oh, yeah. Zilla doesn't think Jason Storm is a coward. Well, he's going to be here Saturday night. We'll talk to him about that. Okay, they're going back and forth. Who else we got here in the chat? Yep, you want to hit a sub for Jovi? Definitely, please do that. I would appreciate that. So would he. Okay, let's go to more comments here. We need another summer of Jovi. So
yeah, we do.
We definitely do, and it's going to be going on here this summer. Okay, who else we got here? Courtney. Yep, I got Courtney's video in. She really liked your song, and I agree with that. I definitely agree. Thank you, Courtney. Courtney has definitely got it going on, and Courtney will be here very soon this week. Courtney probably hates coming on because I keep saying she'll pass me over on Sportswire and take over. But check out Legit Alternative Wrestling. They have a YouTube channel. They're almost like the IMF of West Virginia and Pennsylvania.
Okay.
Definitely check them. I got a big, definitely got some really talented wrestlers, a nice little mix of people, and got a lot of the same vibes. That's why I support them. I'm donating a ticket to their next show on April 30th, and check out their page. Their most recent show is up. Taylor versus Jovi is a match on my bucket list. Maybe you and James Taylor can bounce together on the trampoline with that, because James Taylor is back on the trampoline, and he's getting a match on the trampoline. Another one with Dalton Skull for the PWF Uprising Championship there. Maybe that's something right up your alley.
I don't know if I would ever return to a trampoline, especially at this day and age.
Back in 21
I respect the
trampoline.
I respect the trampoline, but it's not something I can go back to per se. I think I agree with that bad boy ages ago. Now, if it's on a base, I won't say no.
Drop that base. Drop that base.
If it's on if it's on a wrestling base, like, I would still do it, but trampoline, no thanks.
All right. Well, James is pulling it
but
off.
James, I would like to face you too, buddy. If I would love to see a never say never moment between you and myself.
And James is going to be here. He's always here, and that's getting people talking. Okay, here we go. Jovi, yes, you can stop saying I think you can. He knows you can. You can turn to Dark Card anytime. Sir. You know that he can. You know it. You know he can. And Darkron gave me something that I'm going to play in a few minutes to fire you up because Darkron is so fired up. And he's so fired up that he just had a conversation with you last night. And he says how much he loves you. We love you here. You're in our Hall of Fame, I think 3 times now, right? Foundation, IMF, yourself.
Yep, and then myself. Yep.
3 times. We got to induct you again. We'll see when. Get this dub. By the way, Remy Roberts is rooting for you. Get this dub for the Shawn community. Jovi, you got to understand, brother, there's only a few of us old heads left. Me, you, Justin Parsley, Mr. Kron, and Mr. Matthew Forsaken.
Yeah, we're kind of the last outlaws in a lot of ways when it comes to the backyard community. I mean, it's crazy to think about how I've changed the community after all these years of it being damn near extinct and finding all these people who didn't know about the era that I lived through. I think it's crazy that there's only so much of us left, and maybe we are on borrowed time. But on that borrowed time, I need to take every bit of advantage of that as possible and cherish what I got left. And that's why I want to match with people like James Taylor on my bucket list. That's why I want to see me and Rad Dad one more time if the stars align. Anything can happen, man. Never say never in the wrestling business. It's not just a James Taylor quote. It is a fact of life.
And to quote Sade, definitely cherish the day. And speaking of moments that Mr. Kron wanted to give you motivation for. And
yeah, that was Summer Bash last year. Omen may have defended his ramp champ, but he can't do a flip in that thing. So I think I got him there.
You dropped that base, basically. You definitely.
Yeah, I did. That water slide didn't stand a ghost of a chance.
You definitely had some bounce there, and definitely these days we'll probably play that a few more times here tonight. But obviously, let's move on here so we don't go into a lost highway. Also here, stay strong and show Omen where the heck we come from.
Damn right.
And Shawn Jovi, I can't wait to see you in August.
I'm still planning on trying to get to the Wakefield wedding. How, I'm not sure, but I do want to go still.
Stay tuned. Let me just say that. Stay tuned. Tell him, Taylor. Okay. Never say never, Jovi. You know what I mean. Well,
yeah, we all know.
Well, yeah. Well, was it nice? Never said goodbye, right? Was it Jovi?
Never say goodbye.
Yeah, it was Bon Jovi. There you go.
Yep.
See, always a reference there. Yeah. What? Yeah. Well, and live on that prayer. You can do that. We're halfway there, but I will make it. I swear. And we'll go on here. Oxen Taylor, the new generation of hardcore versus old school hardcore. Well, who knows? Tell Father Time to get lost. You aren't ready to quit. You are going to be, to quote our friend in legit alternative wrestling, maybe Shawn Jovi, it's not so much about why you're here. It's not so much about nepotism and, if you can't hang, maybe you're going to be too legit to quit. Maybe the Too Legit to Quit Shawn Jovi tour starts coming up here this Saturday. Maybe I've missed it tonight, and it's really, you're going to show us why you are too legit to quit, sir, and you are going to show us why here, and that, well, let's just say you are going to groove your way back. Parachute pants are not this Saturday with the IMF Championship.
I plan on it, Tom. There's do or do not do. There is no try. In the words of a famous master, Yoda, I have to do it. There's no other way I can do this but to do it.
And Oxen would be bloody and physical. And the Tribal Cheese wanted to say Shawn Bon Jovi. He wanted to call him Shawn Bon Jovi. Well, he's entertained. He's
I know my dad. It's my daddy.
Well, you know what? I mean, I'll probably say it here for the chat because I know my mother is not watching this show. She's not. I was told I was conceived to a Bon Jovi song. I think I was literally, I was thought of via a Bon Jovi song. But we'll leave that at that. But the Tribal Cheese is here with us. And if you'd like to give him a sub on YouTube, he's really famous. He's really popular. And he's definitely like the James Taylor of the UK. But give him a sub, give him a shout out, and he'll be back on Sportswire very soon. And always love seeing him. We have seen Jovi do some crazier things. Yeah, Mr. Kron messaged me and said that you wanted me to show you this. So, and he said thank you, but he doesn't have to thank. I think he really wants to conduct the rest of the interview with you. I think that's what I think he wants to take over for me. He should. He's better looking. He's in better shape. Well, I'm in good shape,
I'll
but he's in a lot
behave.
better shape. But he's got a better use of the vocabulary. He's got more fans. We'll let him take over. And yes, we acknowledge the tribal cheese, my very
Yes,
dear
we
friend,
do.
a longtime friend. And Darkron's definitely, he's in your corner. And he does also say, maybe I'll have to take that title from him. Well, maybe he'll have to take it from you instead.
Yeah, I would love to face Kron. Brother on brother.
That would
Let's
be a
do it.
respectful matchup. Two veterans.
It would
two
be.
legends.
That would be a bucket list match for me
It would be
too.
a match to decide who's the most beloved figure in Sportswire radio history.
Yeah, it actually probably would be.
2024 Inspirational Wrestler. You're the 2023 most popular wrestler of the year. And give a follow to Mr. Kron. Who else we got here in the chat? Thank you. Yep. There is Mr. Darkfire. What do you think about the man that used to hold the RCW championship? The man that obviously, famously, your last appearance here, well, let's just say put a dent in your evening on your birthday. Let's just say, I think I put you in the Hall of Fame on your birthday again. Actually, you're a 4-time Hall of Famer, right? I think we put you in your birthday.
You gave me a permanent day. That's what it was.
Permanent day. Well, close enough. But
that's just his Hall of Fame to me.
But we'll put you back in again. But
yeah,
Mr. Fire is here, Mr. Ricky Romero, and RCW for a few minutes before I come back to the rest of the chat and have a surprise for you. But what's going on here this Saturday, RCW? We got Jordan Nets and Soldier squaring off.
Yep.
We got Freddie squared off for a contract. We got an
actually,
RCW.
let me back that up. It's actually contract versus title shot. You see, Freddie ended up when he gave the title to Thomas McAtee, he said he'd see him soon. So since Freddie is undefeated against Dexter King, I gave him a shot at. I'm going to give him a shot at the RCW title if he wins. But if Dexter wins the match, he gets a contract for RCW, which is something he's been fighting for since the beginning. He's not officially signed, but if he beats Freddie this weekend, he gets a free contract in the company. So we'll see who's more motivated to get their reward.
And we put the match card up here so if people want to check it out. And you just got a couple of new subscribers, so congratulations there.
Thank you, everybody.
We do. Thank you so much for that. And there is Freddie, who's always, to me, one of the most interesting people that comes on this platform. We know we'll hear plenty from him this Thursday. Also, Shawn Jovi is on Instagram. Check him out there. Let's get to some more people in the chat. The foundation is not a brotherhood. And the man is here, Omen Black.
Oh, dear.
He's here. And right before tax day, by the way, listen, he's here to collect. Uncle Sam is here to collect coming up on April 15th. Well, maybe Uncle Omen's here to collect a little earlier for you, sir, on April 12th. And you might have to pay and some.
Doubt it.
We'll find out.
I ain't scared of no boogeyman. I'm telling you that.
My sister stays out in Montgomery, Alabama. Hopefully everybody's okay. Yes, and there is Soldier GP, the All Wrestling Matters World Champion, and he is going to be in action, and it's going to be certainly quite a battle there. And I'm excited to see what Soldier brings to the table, as we all are. Him and Jordan Nets. Jordan Nets, just a former world champion, and Omen, go back in the shadows and stare at your light. We'll have to see. We'll see. Thank you.
Go fly to the lamp.
Who else we got here? I'm Geatric as well. Well, we'll have to see. Right. Ox is on that list too, guys. Jovi helped resurrect our community we all love. He did do that. But, we see this in sports all the time in wrestling. If you can't continue to do it at a certain level, when is it that time to call it quits? And I don't know if it's that time yet. We're going to find out this Saturday, and Johnny Walker and JoJo Jackson are going to be in action. And Johnny Walker, a man that, he had some bravado against Omen Black. It was about guys that had bravado. I mean, there's, bravado in Johnny Walker. But we're going to see a triple threat here at CyberSlam. And what's your thoughts here on this before I get to the rest of the chat?
It's an interesting triple threat matchup. Johnny Walker, he wants to see what he can do in singles competition. Lately, he's been teaming with Freddie Daniels. So I'm like, hell, give him a shot. Give him an opportunity. Give him the TV time. And JoJo Jackson, he's a former RCW champion. Maybe we'll get to see him as a
I
two-time
think JoJo's
champion.
really impressed me the last few months. I think that
JoJo is a rising star. Like,
yeah,
he
I really
has
think it's a good point.
massive potential.
I feel like when we're here with Shawn Jovi, the resident rock star. My name is the Reverend Tom Bryce, your voice figuratively and literally all wrestling rounds. And of course, the entire IMF roster, as many of them as we'll get, are going to be here Thursday night, probably around 9:30 or 10 o'clock Eastern time to talk about Cyber Slam coming up here this Saturday. If you're here, like, share, and follow us and give us a sub. But I think JoJo, when he first came here, I think a lot of people weren't sure what to make of JoJo Jackson, considering where he came from and the company he was in. But I think the last several months, he's a guy that's really turned a corner. And RCW has been a company where you've given opportunities to guys like him. And I think he's going to be even primed and poised for bigger things ahead.
Oh, yeah. And like I said, when I started RCW back up, I didn't want to make it about the old guys. I didn't want to make it about me as much. I didn't want to make it around Darkfire as much. I didn't want to make it around Nicholas Crenson as much or any of the other old RCW guys. I want to build a new generation, and not everyone in the new generation has something to fight for in the IMF. So give them opportunities where they can rise and shine. I like to think of RCW as like
I look at Thomas
NXT.
McEntee, the guy,
Yeah.
the people that you're.
I look at RCW as the NXT of IMF. It's
good point.
It's the way to elevate yourself, to show the world what you can do on a different platform.
Absolutely. And I think that Thomas is an example of what he did in hanging in with Ace Christian, a guy that's on the independent circuit, dominating.
That was a phenomenal match. I would love to see that again.
And I would love to see Ace anywhere. Ace has been just what he's going to do. I mean, I think the best is yet to come, but I also think Johnny Walker has got some bravado. I think JoJo's come a long way. And I think Thomas McEntee is showing that he is going to lead RCW to heights we've never seen before. And I cannot wait. And we've got more people here in the chat. They are fired up. There is a good bit of IMF guys coming. So there's a good possibility. We'll have to see. And speaking of people that I'm sure you're conflicted on, the one half of the IMF Tag Team Champions, the hall monitor of Sportswire Radio, the man that is in the Hall of Fame more than anybody else, and the PWF champion himself, Justin Parsley, who's probably coming here right after hosting a Jeopardy trivia show or spinning some tunes at Kendall's, would like to say, I should have been out of time. That's an REM album, but certainly let's not be automatic for the people here and say, glad I could come back with such a warm welcome. God bless this rock star. Well, he's basically saying hello, so we'll give him that. We'll give him that. Can't wait to face Jovi one-on-one at Rage in the Cage, undisputed King of Palo and the IMF Championship match. So I guess he's in your corner. I guess.
Wow. I can't say anything bad about him now. He's probably the only person who circled me on his prediction card.
I think Kron's got you. Kron's been
yeah, I suppose Kron too.
Kron's been
thanks for the pity circles, guys. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Well, yeah, but Mr. Parsley, who's gonna, I'm sure, be a topic this week on Sportswire, and he is the King of Palo winner. He's got tag team gold once again. He's the PWF champion, and he's always a topic. And give the Tribal Cheese a sub. Who else we got here? He had my time. Yeah, no, it's your time. No, it's okay. And but he's down for a friendly fight. Hello to Justin Parsley. Is Dylan and Justin Parsley friends these days? Anybody know? JoJo is a talented kid. IMF is definitely full of future stars. And you know what? Before I transition and get ready for something else, and the IMF has a YouTube channel, and I would really recommend you go give it a sub. And also, I do have to give a shout out. And apparently, she's here on Instagram. She's a big fan. She's a big Soldier GP and Justin Parsley fan. And it's the account. It's J Dax. It's a long name. It's Princess JD. Let's just go with that. Princess JD with a D. And she has a picture. We'll put her Instagram page up because she's a big fan of Justin Parsley and Soldier GP. It's definitely not Zilla because we know Zilla is not a fan of Soldier GP for whatever reason. In fact, Soldier brought it up on his show at Darkron. Let's not tell anybody, but There she is. She said hello to you and Justin Parsley. So she's a big fan, and she's going to be there this Saturday at the
Yep.
IMF show. So
I
hopefully
recognize her. She's a good kid.
yeah, hopefully it's not past your bedtime. Are you allowed to watch these shows? I mean, I don't know what the kids do these days, but I know when I was in Brooklyn, we were not allowed to watch shows like this. But then again,
It's a family show, Tom.
that's
Remember?
true. Yeah, but you know what? In the neighborhood,
Family-ish.
yeah, well, in the neighborhood, let's just say my father would whistle and yell, and I didn't really get a chance to watch wrestling until a certain age. But you can tune in; it's okay. We are family friendly here, and thank you. Obviously, you're at the IMF shows, and I promised I'd give you a follow and a sub, and she shared it. And Dexter King is a rookie battling his way to the company. I agree. JoJo's definitely a talented kid. Who else we got? Give her a follow. All right. So obviously we took care of a lot of that business. And Dark Crown wants to say at her age, he was watching the Attitude Era. Well, that's why you became a legend. And I became a New York City commissioner of these. Let's leave that at that. Let's talk about what would you want to say if you had any final words for the boogeyman of the Midwest and the hardcore god, Omen Black, before this Saturday, Palo Community Center, IMF World Heavyweight Championship, 3 doors down.
Well, if Omen were here, I would tell him, 1, this is not his show. 2, it's my show. 3, I'm going to take the world championship from him, whether he likes it or not. I want to put him through 3 doors. I want to torture him. I am going to take him to a limit he's never been through before. And I am going to walk out the IMF world champion, whether he likes it or not. People may say I don't have a chance, but you know what? I still believe in my heart that I can destroy Omen Black and beat the darkness within him.
Also, Princess JD wants to tell me personally, she messaged me this on Instagram before I get to my next point, is that Jovi will be a future IMF champion, and she is really, really pulling for you against Omen.
Thank you. Wow, man, more people on the list than I thought.
She is and she put it in caps locks. Caps locks. Didn't even say just the usual. Caps locks.
That's amazing. Thank you.
So
I'll see you this weekend. I won't let you down. I mean, I won't let you down, and I'll see you this weekend at the show. Looking forward to it.
I'm looking forward to it as well. And let me ask you one more question before I obviously, get ready to close the show here tonight. What a show. People are so happy to have you back on this platform. But
I love being here.
Okay, but Anthony Steele, you couldn't beat him last year. Couldn't win those tag team championships last show. And if you can't beat Omen Black again, can you beat the House of Wolves? And if you can't beat him, should you join him?
No, I would never join the House of Wolves.
No?
No.
Okay.
I got drug into the foundation. It may have been the best thing that ever happened to me, but I'm not a believer in the House of Wolves. I at least gave the foundation a chance. The Wolves will never get a chance from me.
Okay. Never get a chance. Never get a chance. And would this be where you're feeling like you're confident going into this Saturday?
I can't say 100% confident. There's always that little bit of doubt, but I know for a fact that I can still hang, and that's all I need to know, that I can win this match.
Well, we're going to certainly see, and we're going to obviously all watch it and try to see how you do, and everybody's excited about the show, and we're all excited. If you want to watch the show, you can do that on the IMF YouTube page. You can also, when it comes out, you can go to the IMF Facebook page for more information and support them, and give Shawn Jovi a sub and definitely join him. He's definitely got it going on here. But, I was going to close the show, but I have received word that I have somebody here that, wants to say hello and obviously, give you support and, obviously root you on and give you some advice and, cheer you on. And there's somebody here right now that would obviously just want to give you a pep talk and give you a few extra words going into this Saturday. So could I bring this person, this supporter, this longtime fan of yours to come on this platform?
Yeah. Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah.
All right.
I have no idea who this is, so I'm excited, actually.
All right. Well, you know what? I mean, we got this fan here of yours that's really excited, and wait a minute. Not so fast.
That was a silly trick.
I was told that it was a fan of yours coming in to, to thank you for all you've done, but it ain't a fan of yours. Not so
He does
fast.
not look like a fan of Jovi's vlog.
No, but he's the man you're going to see across that apron here. Maybe that's going to put you through some doors that you may be facing your kryptonite here coming up this Saturday. That is the IMF champion on his platform, the boogeyman of the Midwest, the hardcore god. Omen Black is here, and I'm going to let him take it away and talk to you and tell you what to expect this Saturday.
Tom, can you bring up Parsley's comment about meeting Jovi in the cage?
Yes, sir. I can do that right now because I actually have it here right in front of me.
Now, Jovi, I know you can read this. I hope you can. I know you're from Wisconsin, so I'll let you get some time to read it slow. But pretty sure that Justin Parsley here is saying that he wants you to win because of two things. Number one, we both know that he doesn't want to meet me in that Rage in the Cage next month. And number two, he wants you to win so badly because he knows he could take that fucking belt right off of you.
Yeah, I'm sure, Omen. You see, if I can beat you, I'm pretty sure I can beat anybody. Especially
Let's look back at the history, like a couple months. You haven't been on top. You haven't been the winner of any match.
A tag team match in January. One tag team match in January.
Jovi. See, I chose my path. Omen chose this path while you're choosing the path to be a hero, and that's fine. These people on Sportswire and Palo, they find you amusing for now. But after a while, they will turn on you, and they will hate you, just like how they did to me. But the difference between me and you and Jovi, I'm not a fucking spineless parasite like you. See, you latched onto the foundation. You shared our glory with us. But time after time again, you've lost titles. You've lost the U.S. title. You've lost the interstate title. Well, the rest of us were putting in work to make the foundation what it was. Now, as of right now, I strongly I'm ashamed of myself for putting the foundation up like that. I made the foundation. Never once did Shawn Jovi make anything in the foundation. You just leached on and made yourself relevant.
I think I was relevant before you even showed up on this platform, Omen. Remember, I was the one who brought this all together.
In WCE, you couldn't even get past Craven Rage.
No, that name, you sure? You want to bring that up?
Brother,
you pick a match that you've never won in. Like, how dumb are you, Wisconsin pieces of crap?
You know, I can't say everyone in Wisconsin is smart because I'm definitely in agreement on that. But I'm a little bit smarter than all of them. Because, like I said, I got nothing to lose in this, Omen. I have everything to gain.
You have everything to lose, Jovi. That's where you're wrong. You need to open your eyes and see the bigger picture. You have everything to lose.
What do I have to lose, Omen? Tell me why.
The major thing that you have to lose, Jovi, is when I beat you, you're just going to go back to being the Labrador lapdog you are in the foundation, which I can see the real you, Jovi. This ain't you. I know the real you. I've seen the real you.
The real you.
And I will fix you, Jovi. Like I fixed Felix, I will fix you. But the greater the peace brings the greater the suffering. And that's exactly what's going to happen this weekend.
Sean
And
Jovi,
you will
real
thank
you?
me. You will thank me later on, just like how everyone else has.
You want me to thank you? The only thing I can thank you for, Omen, is for a free title shot that I want to take advantage of this weekend. Thank you for that free title shot.
It's not like it's going to mean anything. You choke every time you get in the ring, especially when it comes to a big one for a title. You choke.
Choke or no choke. This isn't going to be another rodeo for me, man. I'm going to win this time. And I want to prove to you, I want to prove to the foundation, I want to prove to your house of whores, I want to show Tom. Thank you, Tom.
We do have a child watching this show. Make sure that.
Screw that child. I don't care about her.
Well, that person, by the way, said Omen that she's your biggest hater. Apparently, we're gonna put this.
Good. I hate her.
Okay.
Everyone hates Omen. That's what we're going with.
Zilla doesn't seem to hate Omen Black, by the way.
Well, Zilla doesn't count.
No comment. But Sean Jovi, though, Omen said something that's really interesting to me because I thought I've known you here. I thought I've known you for almost 3 years, and he said that he knows the real Sean Jovi. So for all this time, is there a different Sean Jovi that myself and all the fans and everybody in the Palo Community Center and all of your followers have been missing out or not know? Or who is the real Sean Jovi then?
Your guess is as good as mine because
He's not going to answer right now, Tom, and he doesn't know. He's lost right now, Tom. I'm telling you right now, Jovi, I'll answer this. So just sit down, buddy, and relax. He's not going to know how to answer that right now because he doesn't even know who the real Sean Jovi is. Do you get the picture, Tom? He's so brainwashed by the foundation and Soldier GP that he lost sight of who he really is. Jovi, you used to be a respected champion, and now you're just a body in the foundation.
But what's left of them now?
Dog that they
I don't know what to say on the foundation. Drago and Steel, let's not go there. I mean, you've got, I guess, Mephisto and Dirty with Jovi. All right, but Soldier and Parsley, they've got the Midwest Express to worry about. Jovi said tonight that he and Soldier have been distant recently. I don't know what's going on.
Jovi, you were his best friend. Where's that friendship at now?
And Steel was the one that said on here that Parsley and Soldier were in cahoots for all this time. People can say whatever they want about Steel, but Anthony Steele once again says something controversial, and it sounded like he knew something.
Of course he did. We all saw it. Everyone's just too ignorant to believe it was so. Just like Jovi, he's too blind behind the sleight of hand tricks the foundation and Soul GP put in front of his eyes.
404 down. You know, Omen, I want to ask you something, and I never thought I'd ask you this question on here, but I'm going to ask, we go back to when Jovi was forced to join the foundation a year and a half ago. You remember that? Maybe if we looked back, that we should have maybe regretted that, and maybe that Jovi should have beaten Soldier and not joined the foundation. Do you regret what happened down there? You talk a lot about Wisconsin. You talk about a lot of just everything, your hatred of that state. But do you go back to a year and a half ago when you famously went there and Soldier had that match with Sean Jovi? And do you wish that maybe secretly Sean Jovi had beat Soldier GP and that he would never have joined the foundation? And maybe we're not dealing with all of this today. Do you ever think about that or regret that Sean Jovi joined the foundation?
I watched that match behind Omen's pathetic eyes.
Yes, sir.
Jovi, you were forced into a bad situation. But the idiot Wisconsin in you thought it was a come up. You thought it was the greatest thing that ever happened to you. And Rightfully so, because you're from Wisconsin. Nothing good happens there. But it's the foundation. You know, you were just used, Jovi. You were used. You know why you were used? Because you were used because he took you away from your home in WCE.
I don't consider him a home anymore.
At the time, I'm talking.
Oh, well.
You were the
Yeah.
man that was the company man. You were the man that was with them, and when
You were the man who fought for him harder than
it
anyone
was
else
Yoda
there.
and Omen, they took over this platform. They took it over.
And your locker room leader didn't want to face me. But you had the goal. You had the guts to step in the ring with me with Nicholas Crenton. And respect to you, that's a hard partner to have. So I respect you for that.
He's a fighter. He's a fighter.
But Jovi, I just want you to know that I can see how you're just sitting there thinking about everything I'm saying. Is this true? Can Omen be true? Is Omen telling the truth right now? Of course I am. You'll see that.
Well, I'll tell you what we're going to do. I'll tell you what. You know what? We're all back Thursday, but you know what? Omen said something, Shawn Jovi, that maybe you should ponder this for a few days, and maybe we'll circle the wagons back here and open up with the two of you Thursday night. And maybe you have a little more time to think about what Omen Black said, and maybe you can give us an answer then, because Omen has said time and time again about the nepotism of the IMF, and you're the poster child of that. Omen has also said that he's leaving the IMF come December 31st with that IMF championship in hand, and you might be responsible for that. But since Omen has said that you've got some time to think this over, maybe we circle the wagons back to kick things off Thursday night, and we can reconvene and hear further what you have to say. What do you think?
I think so.
Yeah.
I'm ready. I'm ready.
I know
I
I've
can't
said
wait.
a lot, Jovi, so I kind of respect that you don't know what to say. So, but at least show that energy you had when you slapped me across the face. Where's that Jovi at?
You know, that Jovi's hidden away.
only way you
He's locked
heard-
under locked and key for this weekend.
Oh, locked and key. He's hit under lock and key. John Jovi's
see-
getting mad.
You see, there is an angry Jovi out there. There is a dark side
And the
of the
foundation is
Jovi.
here. The foundation is showing up right
It
before we
took
get
them
on the
an hour
air.
and a half to get here to
The
support me.
cavalry. The foundation is here.
It took them an hour and a half to be here to support you.
They're here, though. They are here.
They
They're
made
here.
it.
They're here.
But
Thank
here's the
God.
thing, Omen.
They made it just too late. What do
It's
you think?
never too late,
What do you
Omen.
think's gonna happen to you Saturday?
The only thing that's going to happen to me on Saturday is me standing over you as world champion after throwing your big boy ass through 3 doors.
See, I'm delusional because I know you get stuck playing those video games, but Jovi, this is gonna be real life. This ain't no video game. You're not gonna beat me with ease. You're not gonna beat me at all. You think I'm gonna just lay down for you and beat me, Jovi?
I wouldn't expect
You know
you
what? Then
to.
I am right. You are as stupid as you look.
Oh my God. And you know, Omen Black has also talked about, before we sign off and Shawn Jovi thinks about some of the things Omen Black has said, he has talked about Wisconsin and specifically sending a message to the state of Wisconsin. Ox McCoy intends to do that with Nicholas Crenton, and Omen Black looks to do his part of the deal when it comes to Shawn Jovi and Mephisto, his best friend right now, Shawn Jovi. Very well might have to see it all unfold right in front of him. What will Mephisto do? I don't know.
No,
But I can't wait
Fuck
Thursday.
Mephisto. Jovi, you smacked me last month. That's how you earned this title shot. But
It was the slap heard around the
there
world.
is a stipulation that I'm going to put in mind.
Oh,
So you got your best friend, the special guest referee, the guy who took the IMF World Heavyweight Championship off. Here's the stipulation. I want you to listen closely because you got to choose the match. If Mephisto gets involved in our match and doesn't call it down the middle or lays a hand on me, I'm going to tell Dirty Donnie, if that happens, you lose.
oh, oh my goodness!
Don't worry. I already told Mephisto he has to call it down the middle because there's going to be no excuses when I defeat you. There's not going to be an asterisk by my name winning the world title because Mephisto helped. I don't need Mephisto's help. He's just there to count the pin, brother. Here's the thing. When I defeat you this Saturday and I become the new IMF World Heavyweight Champion, things are going to change around here. They're not going to be self-centered around a pack of wolves who are so delusional about their egos. They have to go boo-hoo about it. Listen, this is my show now, Omen.
You think you could say that to me?
I think I can because I founded this platform before you could.
And I made it better than you ever could.
Oh my God! They're fighting for supremacy. They're fighting for the most richest prize in all of underground wrestling in a live audience. It takes place this Saturday, and they open things up here Thursday night in prime time.
You know what, Joey? I'm gonna throw back a line the first time I commented on Sportswire while you were on Sportswire. Just like death, you losing to me is inevitable.
Oh my goodness. Salvation, could Shawn Jovi maybe see salvation, but not salvation the way he wants? It may be forced to him. Could this be the final battle for Shawn Jovi? Could this be?
You see, just like Cobra Kai, Shawn Jovi never dies. There is no death to Shawn Jovi. There is life. And this life of mine is going to be holding the world title.
Jovi.
You never die, Jovi. It's always good to start new things. Let's try this Saturday.
Well, I've got a couple more comments before we go. Princess JD wants to say that the House of Wolves will never be on top, whether it's the Midwest Express, Omen, Anthony Steele. It'll always be on top. It'll be Drago, Jovi, Parsley, and Soldier. And
clearly, that fan is a complete idiot because I'm already on the top. I'm the top. I'm the golden.
He's saying you're not going to be on top anymore. Jason Storm is here. He would also like to say he hopes Ox McCoy ends Nicholas Crenton's career this time, please. Ox is saying the house always wins. Zilla's in the house, wants to say hello. Dark Crown says, what the hell is Jason Storm doing here? Jason Storm is here Saturday night, by the way. Il Drago says Anthony Steele, vengeance comes April 12th. And Dakota's here. Thank you, Dakota. And I'll tell you what. We're going to resume this here Thursday night, and I can't wait to do it again. We're going to open up with these two men. This is a Shawn Jovi like we've never seen, but maybe Omen Black and White. We're starting to see the real Shawn Jovi because Shawn Jovi all of a sudden took a turn that we haven't seen him on this platform take. Maybe he knows that this could be the final time. Maybe he knows that everything is on the line, that Shawn Jovi may never get another shot at the top again. And it's now or never. And can the old Yeller pull one more out? Win one for the Gipper? We'll find out. But I'll tell you what, fellas, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you to everybody here in the chat. If you're here, by the way, sub to the IMF's YouTube page. Sub to Shawn Jovi's YouTube page. Support us here on this platform. And I'll be back Thursday night with these two men, plus a slew of your favorites from the IMF to get you ready for the historic CyberSlam show. It's already sold out, so the only way you can go out here is join the conversation. And thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. My name is the Reverend Tom Bryce, your voice figure to be literally where all wrestling matters. If you're here on Sportswire Radio, I'll be back here tomorrow night. But until then, Omen Black and Shawn Jovi open things up Thursday night. And they're going to have plenty to say. Omen has given salvation possibly to Shawn Jovi. But this isn't like the Felix Jones salvation. This could be forced, and Mephisto now will have to call it down the middle, because if he doesn't, Shawn, Jovi, you to the L to the O to the S to the E. That championship match. And that very well could be your last track. Thank you so much, everybody. And until then, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. On and everyone. You're at Sportswire Radio. We're all